Channel is a good evening from Zanzibar. So, got some exciting stuff to share with you guys about just the highs of living abroad with my family. I'm just doing a solo video this time around. Before I get into that, just want to remind you guys that this Saturday, March 7th, we're hosting our newest Move Abroad in 3 Easy Steps virtual workshop. That's Move Abroad in 3 Easy Steps, a virtual workshop. And I'll get into a little bit more of that later. The link to sign up is in the live chat and also in the pinned comment below. So let me just make sure that I can see the chat here with you guys for anyone who comes in. Hold on. As you guys pour in, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Well, I always love seeing, here we go. Always love seeing who's from where. If you're new to the channel, we're from the DMV. That's DC, Maryland, Virginia. That's the whole region and everything. Grew up in PG County, Maryland. So sign off wherever you guys are from. There we go. Okay, cool. I see everybody's good. All right, so just moving right along because I'll just be here for a little while. Just feeling grateful this Thursday for all the different adventures and excursions that I've had with my family. If you're a longtime subscriber or if you're new, my parents are my parents are retired, and my brother Daniel and I are basically digital nomads, and we are the points of the spear for our family business where we do consulting for people who are interested in living a life similar to ours, how to move abroad seamlessly. When we're not doing that, we're doing different hobbies like maybe other YouTube channels, maybe getting into music, reading, and of course, traveling. That's the topic of this video. Even though we live abroad, we still do different excursions and things like that. And so some memories that I have right off the top is actually of the peace that comes with being able to do that. It's a privilege. It's a blessing. Also, chime in the comments if you're watching and if you live abroad actually already. We've been getting a lot of comments from people the past year in particular. Some are in Portugal, some are in Japan, Puerto Rico, El Salvador, you name it. And they're saying, oh yeah, I've lived abroad for 3 months. I've lived abroad for 5 years. I've been retired for X amount of time. Yeah, isn't it great? Please chime in the comments and let us know, okay? Guys, there are more people living abroad, moving abroad and living abroad than you realize. So hello to everybody chiming in and joining the chat. And so recently, my brother Daniel and mom and I were at the pool here in our neighborhood with my girlfriend. You see her on the thumbnail, Evelyn. She's come through the channel a few times, teaches Swahili, if anyone's interested in that. And we were with her nieces who are younger than teenage age, and they've been overcoming a little bit of their weariness of the water. So they were having fun in the pool. It's super hot here in Zanzibar right now, in particular, even when it's rainy season. It actually kind of gets hotter when the rain goes away. But we had a really, really fun day with some of the other neighbors and just, as they say in Swahili, making stories. That's just simply what they mean when they're talking about how's life going and things like that. So we're talking with mom, talking with Evelyn, hanging out with Daniel and her 2 nieces, and they're just splashing and enjoying the water. Some of the neighbors are like racing in the pool. And then we were ready to go. So we'd had a refreshing day already, and it was just exactly what the doctor ordered. But the pool is actually situated in our neighborhood right at the beach, more or less. This is a beach full of coral. You have to kind of find the sand here in Zanzibar. It's not hard to find, especially if you're in Paje where it's white sands and stuff. But here, there's a lot of coral. And tide was in, maybe it was 3 or 4 p.m. or something in the afternoon. Still super hot, but still super beautiful. And tide, at least for me, I'm about 5'10", 5'11". It was maybe up to my thighs or so, the tide. And so you're able to climb down the ladder from the restaurant, pool restaurant, down into the water. And so mom and Daniel and Evelyn were still talking and chatting. And I just took her 2 nieces down to the water, and they were just admiring the boats. They were looking for like samaki, that's Swahili for fish, or they were looking for crabs, or they were a little freaked out by the seaweed and things coming in. They were a little weary of the water. To my knowledge, it might have been their first time like in the ocean, maybe, but they were just really brave and they were just really excited to be, with Uncle. They call me Uncle. And it was just really fun to go down the ladder, make sure their Crocs were secured, and just to walk out, the waters maybe up to their stomachs or something like that. And they were just pointing at different things. And I'm speaking a little broken Swahili. The oldest maybe might be about 10, and she can speak more English and things. And so we're connecting and things like that. I've known them for a few years now. And I even hoisted them up onto one of the, I guess, docked or anchored fisherman boats. They're really cool, like ancient kind of biblical style looking boats. They probably looked exactly the way they looked years ago with the canvas sail. And we watched them kind of make the boats in the forest and things like that. And I just hoisted them both up, my young nieces, onto the boat. And they were like, "Oh, we're pirates. And that was really cool. And they were just seeing more of just the horizon and everything like that. And it was a cloudy day, and there were just dozens and dozens of boats to the right, dozens and dozens to the left. You could see the cliffs and everything like that. My family back up top at the restaurant were taking video of us, and we're waving at them and everything. And it just made me feel really, really grateful. It made me think about when I have a family, and when I'll have children, when Evelyn and I have children, y'all willing, and just being able to point out the wonders of life, just be able to do that, because my nieces on my side and nephew on my side of the family are back in the States. So I've been able to see them, and they, see them grow up, and when we're on FaceTime and Facebook video, we wave and say hey and stuff, but they naturally live back in the States. So I only see them from time to time. Only seen them really 2 or 3 times since moving abroad full time. We've lived abroad going on 5 years now. And so it's special to be able to connect with Evelyn's side of the family and to be able to show them, again, just the wonders of creation. We were unplugged from screen time, no TV, no video games. We were just out in nature, pointing out things. It just made me feel just really full. It just made me feel really, really full and just really grateful. And it's like, these are things that you can do in the States, but if you're watching, you're especially interested in living abroad and planning that move, like where can I start and things like that. Again, that's why, I'm shouting out this weekend's Move Abroad workshop where we help you out with that. Because over in the States, if you're thinking of moving abroad, one of the reasons is because you're tired of the hamster wheel. You're tired of not being able to spend as much time with your family and things like that. And so, albeit some of my family is back in the States and I cherish the time we've had, it's nice that my family is kind of expanding on this side. And it was just so wonderful to be able to have that pool day and to just be able to point out the creatures, point out the boats, let my, my young nieces, so to speak, enjoy seeing, the seaweed, and there's a crab, Uncle, and and it was just, we were just unplugged. And it was just a major, major blessing. Other adventures we've had, Daniel, the thumbnail, the photo you see for this video is of Daniel and Evelyn and I. We went to Tanga, and we went to celebrate her brother's wedding. And in the photo, you'll see, the stone animals behind us, and then mountains. I think that was maybe Mount Meru over our shoulder in the photo. And that was amazing to just enjoy more of Evelyn's side of the family, enjoy the Maasai traditions and things that they do, enjoy all the aunties coming together to cook and things. And we saw the uncles and all the male cousins slaughter the cow and everything, and they ate off that cow for maybe another 2 weeks or something like that. And to just enjoy the countryside of northern Tanzania. It was pretty amazing to just have those experiences. I'd been to that region before. This was Daniel's first time up there, and it was really incredible. We made a lot of memories. If you're a longtime subscriber, you probably saw our YouTube lives of those adventures up there as her brother got married, and it was pretty amazing. We got to meet up with her mom again, Evelyn's mom, and things. We also got to, in that area from Tanga, go to Arusha, another amazing, lush, green, yet metropolitan area, depending on where you go, in northern Tanzania. The photo on this video is we were at the Arusha Cultural Heritage Museum. Evelyn and I had been there before, actually, and this was Daniel's first time there. I think it's the largest and tallest museum in East Africa, at the very least. It's got maybe 5-7 floors. It's just overflowing with wood carvings, with paintings of every kind, metalwork jewelry. They've got a couple different restaurants in there. I think they have a section dedicated to the late Jane Goodall there, I think, as well. And Daniel was just blown away by it. It was incredible. We tried to do a live there, but we didn't have signal at the time. So our memories would just have to do for the time being. But it was really, really, really cool. And it was just nice to watch him glow. It was nice to see Evelyn enjoying being there again, because she doesn't get to go to the mainland as often as she wants, since she lives here in Zanzibar where we live. But it was just awesome to be able to get off the island and explore more of northern Tanzania, Tanga, then Arusha, see her best friend, see like the places she used to go when she was in school in the Arusha, Moshi area. And it's so green and it's so different. It's also the more affordable and even healthier to some degree Swahili food. The food here on the island is really amazing, but we're in tourism central, we make it work. So it's always nice when we can go to the mainland and enjoy those trips. So we've done things like that, and it was just great to make those incredible memories. Before I go any further, I'd also like to remind you guys, again, if you're thinking about moving abroad, we also have linked in the description, you'll be able to find access to our research guide. It's just a free guide if you're like, how do I really, really get started? Maybe you're thinking about countries in Africa, or maybe you're thinking of other places like I listed, like maybe Spain, Portugal, maybe the Caribbean or something like that. And it's just kind of a brief 5-page guide that just kind of covers general expat stuff like retirement visas, places, safest places for families, corrupt countries index so that you can avoid those corrupt places and go to the safest places where you guys can thrive, and many other places and things, digital nomad visas. So check that out in the description of this video. Again, 5-page free guide, and you'll find that down in there. It's also been linked in the live chat of this video if you're joining me live. And yeah, again, I'm just really blessed and just really reminiscing and going back and just reminding you guys, when you make that trip abroad, which is very much possible. I know there's a lot of scary things going on right now, wishing for the peace, always of the world, always wishing for peace. Go where you're most welcome, as I think we hear Nomad Capitalist says that a lot. Go where you're most welcome, go where you're treated best. It's still possible to move abroad. My parents have been talking about lately about how they're enjoying retirement and a lot of the logistics that go into that. If you're a longtime subscriber or new, check out those live videos as well. If you fall into the retirement category, digital nomad life is possible as well. If you're starting your business, if you need to even just make 3 extra figures, it's possible, becoming reachable online as we've done. And I'm really just wishing you guys the best as you embark on your trips abroad. It's possible. If you're new here, binge our videos. We've got a lot of them. And just keep that in front of your face. My brother Daniel likes to talk about leveraging the algorithm. Make sure, be, I guess, as they say, be informed. Maybe you're watching CNN or something like that. That's fine. Be informed, but especially you're watching, if you're really interested in moving abroad, make sure you're looking at things that are research guides, like what I just told you, that give you a sense of what's the possibility of moving abroad, so as that you don't get depressed, anxious. We don't want you to miss any opportunities in the logistics and the immigration and the mindset to move abroad. I remember another trip, one of our first when we moved abroad. At the time, we were living in Rwanda first before we came to Zanzibar. Some of you longtime subscribers have heard of this. Welcome new ones. You might not have heard this story. But to make a long story short, we went to the Uganda for about 3 days, something like that, with some other close, loving family. We needed to do a border run to get our tourism visa at the time of Rwanda renewed. And so we had some family helping us at immigration and things like that when we crossed into Uganda. We went to, I think it was called the Nest Resort Lodge or something like that in Kabale, Uganda. We went up the mountains and we saw some of the local people. We saw the farmland. We saw the land. It's kind of chopped up. It's like from a distance, it looks like it's like steps, lush green steps carved into the mountain. We saw all the black and brown cows. I think it's ng'ombe, as you say in Swahili. And then way up there is a place called Lake Bunyani. And there's like obstacle courses. There's souvenir shops, restaurants, other people, fishermen people, I guess, fisherman community that ring the whole Lake Bunyani. We sailed across with Daniel and I and our cousins and some friends. We sailed across this wide expanse of Lake Bunyani to, I forgot what it's called, but it was a kind of a conservation area. There was zebra, or zebra as they say. There was, I guess, gazelle, even donkey. I think there was one big pregnant donkey. I think they can mate with zebra because I think they're kind of a similar species if you look at them close enough. We're even able to hold out our hands. They gave us food, I think, and we fed them. Took some awesome photos and things. And I remember it rained that day, and we were a little nervous going up the mountain, but by the time we sailed across, clouds broke out, parted, the sun was out and everything. We went to pet the animals and just have that cultural exchange with our friends who helped us. They're from Burundi, but they live in Rwanda now, and they had helped us at immigration and just welcomed us to Uganda. And it was just amazing. It was my, I guess, second African country, all of our second African country. And it was just really, really peaceful, really, really incredible. My uncle had a birthday. I guess it was his first or second birthday abroad, or at least in Africa, because they'd lived in India once before. And we met Grace Villa Children's Sanctuary. Shout out to Grace Villa and Mama Ruth. We met them because they did cultural exchange and dance and music with us in their local Kabale tradition. And it was amazing. You know, take a drink every time I say amazing. But it was awesome. And I can't believe it was like 4 years ago. And that was our first year in Africa. Also in Rwanda, we would have trips to, so you see, we explore around a lot. You don't have to just be at home when you move abroad unless you want to. Maybe you want to live by the ocean. Maybe you want to live in the mountains. Maybe you want to live downtown. Just find a community, you know, maybe via Facebook or something like that. We talk about these things more at length in the Move Abroad and 3 Easy Steps workshop, where you can do excursions and day trips and things like that. We did Mount Kigali, because we were in the city of Kigali. We did Mount Kigali a handful of times. They have archery. We have some videos of that. ATVs, horse riding, and delicious food. I think at the time, my favorite burger was at Mount Kigali. It was delicious. Tied with Mazzani's. They've closed. They used to be in Dar es Salaam, but shout out to the family who founded Mazzani's. It was amazing. But Mount Kigali was so lush. You could go up even further into the mountain when we did the horseback riding. I know Daniel and I at least did it. And then he and Dad did the ATVs. And I think y'all saw the wide expanse, maybe. Saw the river. I'm not sure what the river was called, but you could see it. We were so high, you could see it snake through the country. And I was like, whoa, this feels like something out of a movie, or maybe even out of the Bible, Abraham or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, Mount Kigali's French fries, what was it, Irish potatoes? Off the hook, y'all. Off the hook. Go to Mount Kigali and check them out for yourself. But that was amazing to be able to do that. We did that a handful of times, and there was art, there was music, and we would just hang out by the fire pit. We talk about how we were doing with learning Kinyarwanda, which I didn't learn that well, but I learned a few greetings. I've kind of forgotten them. But the people were very nice. We'd see people in the stores or in our community, and they'd greet us, and their faces would light up when we'd try to speak speak Kinyarwanda and things like that. We go to other local restaurants and enjoy things like the beef brochettes, or my cousin Joy and she introduced me to the Kigali Library. I might need to renew my library card, but I got a library card. I'm a nerd. I was actually very hyped to find that library. But it was a really, really good time. Those are just some of the other memories that we had. And last but not least, again, if you're new here or long term, Daniel and I spent 2 weeks in South Africa, blew our minds. Mom and Dad spent 2 weeks in Nairobi, Kenya. Check out those videos here. There's also a playlist for South Africa where we toured the estates off the hook. And again, we got to check out these estates, these gated estates. The gates kind of remind me of like Jurassic Park or something like that, or like when you check into an amusement park or something, you needed like a special code and the security, and it was a big deal. So we got to check out places like the Precinct, Munyaka, Gate 4, etc. And it was just all these different family estates. Some were catered more maybe to families with younger children, so maybe you saw more pools and jungle gyms and things like that. Some, like the Whiskin, as I recall, were really geared toward maybe retirees and the elderly or something like that, maybe slower pace of living. Places like Munyaka, that's our favorite, that's Mom's favorite. It's got the man-made beach in the center. It's got villas. It's got penthouses. It was just remarkable. And I just thank God that Daniel and I were able to take that trip. I'm glad Mom and Dad could go to Nairobi, Kenya. And it was just awesome to meet Camp Journey, South Africa, aka the Sabara family. Shout out to the Sabara family. In fact, after this live, you should go check out our homepage right up here. A new South African estate video is actually out right now. Greetings, Dion P. What's up? I'm looking at the live chat, y'all, for anyone who's watching the replay. Long time no see. Haven't seen you in a while. It's always nice to see you, Dion P. You're great. Love from the family. It was just incredible to see how different people live in South Africa. We also did the Soweto tour, where it's not estate luxury living. Those people are the more lower class, humble, but lively and enjoying their life. The rich culture is still there. Daniel and I got to try South African oxtail, and I think it's pop. It's also known as ugali here in Swahili land, and tried their Soweto beer with the Sabara family and our amazing guide. We got to go to Nelson Mandela's, not childhood home, I guess his home maybe with his first wife, if I have that right. I believe we're going to talk more about it in the, okay, that was it, in an upcoming video, and we'll put it in the South Africa playlist, and just get so much of that culture. We went to the Apartheid Museum and just learned more about how similar, not exact, but how similar the fight for, I guess, equality and justice of the Black South Africans was down there. It's apartheid, I guess, was 30 or so years ago. Wasn't that long ago. We could still feel some of it in the air, but we could also feel the love and the resilience of people as they move forward to just get more equality and more influence in their own country. You know, God bless them. And there's more and more, you know, we'll share more in the upcoming South Africa playlist. Again, after this is done, I'm about to wrap up. You should check out the new South Africa Lodge Estate video. It's live right now, pre-recorded video, a collaboration with the Sabara family, Camp Journey. If you're interested in South Africa, check that out. If you're interested in rural living and the opportunities available. We just here like to share what's available. Maybe nothing's a sure thing until you guys and your family make it a sure thing. If something doesn't work for you, check out something else that we have. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos. Just to remind you, moving abroad is possible. But that's just some of what we went through and enjoyed and explored in South Africa. Even saw some of the silos turned, I guess, rec areas or adventure areas that, if you were paying attention, I Show Speed. He did his, I guess, month or 2 month excursion through Africa. He went to South Africa. He went to the same place that Daniel and I went to. It was raining that day, so we didn't get to go up in the silo, but yeah, it was pretty exciting. So again, as I bring it to a close, it's just been awesome to be able to relive the blessings to excursion and adventure abroad. So it's not just move abroad, which was almost 5 years ago. I still have vivid memories. Qatar Airways, first class, business class. I'd never done that before. And we got to do that. We got to watch movies. We had a bed in the plane, so to speak, and we had champagne and all types of stuff. And I just give God glory for that experience. And I hope that you've enjoyed this. This is just some of what's possible for you as you network with the right people, as you learn to methodically and thoroughly plan your move abroad. This is possible. I know the world is scary right now, but if you and yours focus and, as Dad said, awaken to the dream of starting a business, of moving abroad, retiring abroad, starting a new business or remote work, these things are possible no matter how scary the world gets. Don't let anybody diminish your dream. What is it, Langston Hughes? You know, does a dream deferred get denied or get set aside or something like that? Don't let your dream be deferred. So again, check out the research guide to kind of get you a little bit started. It's a free guide. It's right there in the description of this video. Again, nice to see you, Dion P, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, South Africa Investment Lodge video is live right now. So after this, if you're interested and curious about South Africa, check out our South Africa playlist and tune into that video. Shout out to Camp Journey in South Africa. If you want to tour South Africa, all their information, airport pickup, all that is linked in there if you're interested in South Africa. And again, at the time of this video, March 7th was our most upcoming and recent Move Abroad workshop. So if you're interested in taking more of a deep dive with me and my family, talk about digital nomad stuff, healthcare abroad, retirement, families, making neighbors, friends, you name it. It's a 2-3 hour workshop this Saturday, March 7th. All the information and thorough breakdown is in the link in the description. Thank you, Dion P. Continue shining you all as you all do. May your passion to share blossom. Thanks so much, Dion. Love always having you. So with that, I'm a sign out. Let us know if you're thinking of moving abroad in the comments and everything. This has been fantastic. We're going to keep doing more and more of these brief lives. And until next time, be blessed. See y'all later.